Okay, so I don't know what I want to do for the rest of my life. And that's okay. This was something that I had a lot of issue with, and for a while it kind of felt like I really didn't know what I was going to do. When you're 23 and you don't know where you're going, like like don't get me wrong, like when you're 23, who the hell is thinking about what they want to do for the rest of their life? I'm trying to figure out what I want for breakfast in the morning, and I don't even get that right. I just buy something from McDonald's because I'm so lazy. Like, already I work too much doing regular jobs to want to build upon a proper eating habits. Also, don't vape. Not helpful. So 23. I don't know. It's for when I graduated high school, I was of the belief that it was really easy to know what you want and that you have to have something figured out by like your second year of college, and that it's magically going to fall into place, and that you're somehow going to end up finding what you want to do, and you're going to do it without any doubt in your mind as to what you might want when you're older. And now that I think about it, I would have taken a gap year just so I can work and not have school bog me down while I'm in a period of my life where I'm just trying to figure out how to be an adult. And there's a lot of things that got in the way of my education. Working, a lot of personal, I wouldn't say personal turmoil, but it was things that I told myself that I would much rather do than be getting an education, because I felt like me being out in the world as an adult, being by myself, living out in an apartment in 3 hours away from my family, that this was something that I wanted to learn to be self-sufficient in before I even wanted to even think about pursuing an education. But for some reason I thought it was a good idea to have school be on the list, but be on the farthest, like the bottom of the list. Like, I'm not even saying on the list, I'm saying like you're looking at the desk, there's the sheet of paper, and you're writing it at right above the paper, like on the desk, because you ran out of space on the fucking paper, because there's a million other things that you'd rather do than be in school. And that's definitely what I was doing from like 20 to 21 to 22. And I just told myself, like, I'm just getting through these classes because I wanted to raise my GPA. I wanted to be in comp sci. So for a long time, I felt like technology was where I wanted to be, because I was around it the most. When it came to my general knowledge, I knew about technology more than anything else. So why not? Like, it's super easy to pick something that you have the most familiarity with, because you're going to have the easiest time with it in general, which is very wrong. I definitely recommend against that, because then you start to convince yourself that this is what you want, like this is what you're meant for, like it's your destiny, which is something that I also don't believe in. There's no such thing as like a destiny is what you're destined to do. It's find something you enjoy doing. Like, it's really all there is to it. But I don't know, it's just, I guess this is just me ranting, because I was gonna title this "Watch This If You're 23 and Lost," but someone who's 23 and lost isn't gonna make a cohesive YouTube video and create something that the audience is gonna be like, oh yeah, I totally got something out of that. So I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna rant for the rest of this video. This was gonna be motivational, inspirational, something that I would definitely want to look back at myself and say, yeah, this is something that I would want to see on the internet. No, I'm just gonna make this all about me at this point. So I convinced myself for a while that I wanted to do computer science. And, even though I didn't have, a lot of coding experience coming into college. My first couple coding classes were relatively easy. I was very lazy, and I didn't apply myself the way that I did. So maybe that kind of got in the way of me potentially being a lot more successful in that major than I ended up being. Well, not saying I was successful. I actually wasn't. I had a very low GPA at the end of it. Not because of the classes themselves, but because I was taking other classes, and the course load itself is what dropped my GPA, not the comp sci classes. Also, after a certain point, I realized that comp sci wasn't really something that I saw myself doing, because like I said, you shouldn't really convince yourself that something that you have an affinity, well, not really an affinity for, but not something that you see yourself doing because it's such an easy grab, should be something that you want to do for the rest of your life. So when COVID hit, I was desperate for jobs. I was in a period of my life where if I wasn't going to, I was dilly-dallying with my college courses. I was part-time for like the last almost 2 years, and I told myself that if I wasn't going to focus on school, I was going to focus on being an adult. I was going to work on things that added value to my life that at the time my education wasn't giving me, which was, building up a credit score, finding jobs, working different sectors in the workforce, and just kind of being myself, learning how to be a proficient adult in America, which is way scarier than I ever thought it would be. I wouldn't say scary, but way more annoying than I thought it'd be, because at this point I feel like I'm in one of those App Store games where you build the corporation, and then you have a little employees, and then you create the business and you make it as optimized as possible. And for a while I was like, oh my god, so I guess the trick to being an adult is to be as optimized as possible, have a morning routine, have a evening day routine, and then have a night routine, be perfect at everything. Everything needs to be, I was definitely on like the minimalism train for a good last year, watching damn, what's his name? Can't even think about him at the moment, but you know who you are, Mr. I sold all my things and I'm moving to Sydney with my girlfriend, Mr. YouTuber. I love your content, by the way, huge fan. And well, I wouldn't be a huge fan if I knew your name. So anyway, I was trying to figure out how did I want to live my life? How did I want to hold myself? How did I want to show myself to the world? I understand like you want to be yourself, but sometimes even that can be exhausting. So kind of having a persona that is easy to fall into habitually to the world seems easy, which I don't know if that made sense just now, but that's kind of what was going in my head when I was out there. I worked at a gas station, worked in fast food for a little bit, and then I was kind of in a place where I was lost with relationships, my friends, my finances, my education. I was lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And you know what? At the time, I told myself, I'm young. I don't even know what I'm going to do next semester. It's okay. There's no point in being stressed about something that you have no control over, which is both a good and bad thing to have. And I notice here it says I got 1 minute left. Okay.